What's up, guys?
Thanks for having us on.
No problem.
Gentlemen. So, you guys have your own podcast as well? Are we talking exclusively about Boston Red Sox, or you guys talk about other stuff too?
This season's been all Red Sox. Season 1, we experimented and covered everything in sports, and our episodes is like 3 hours long per episode.
Yeah.
It was a little OD on too much. And the reason behind our podcast was all Red Sox. Me and this guy are big Red Sox fans. We were drunk at a bar one night. We're like, let's do a fucking podcast about the Red Sox. And I was like, I'm game.
Yeah. I mean, literally, me and him were just hanging out one night, and all we do is just, as buddies, just talk baseball. And after a few years, the name Fenway Faithful came out, and we're like, you know what, man, screw it. We can either sit on it or we can just go for it, and here we are. So with this season in particular, we just decided for the Red Sox fans that we were just going to stick to Red Sox baseball primarily. And, I mean, it has kicked off. Our episodes are getting a lot of views, a lot of listens, and now we've even incorporated sponsors now. So, I mean, talk about a send-off for 2020. So
we made a coronavirus and made it a positive somehow.
Yeah.
So and now baseball's back. So who the fuck ain't ready for that?
Yeah. Seriously, that's
how about you guys?
Sponsors and everything too. That's something that we're working towards.
Yeah, I mean, thanks to Mo here. He's the guy. I just call myself the voice. That's it. But behind the scenes, guy with the blogs and talking to sponsors and just networking is everything for podcasting and just getting your voice out there. So
yeah. Like when I reached out to you guys and you guys asked why, little podcasts like this that do these podcasts to make them grow and to help each other. And you're Blue Jay fans, Red Sox fans. We have two things in common. One, we love baseball, and two, fuck the Yankees. So, that's what it's about.
Absolutely.
And that's how, we got to help each other, and, the sponsors will come and just keep working like you guys are. You guys are doing great. You guys are awesome set up there. I was excited to start following each other. Right away, I was like, we got to get these guys on. And it just made sense.
Yeah.
You guys started following us. Blue Jays are playing the Red Sox in 2 exhibition games. It's fucking baseball season, boys. Who the fuck ain't ready about that?
Yeah, let's talk about that, man. Our team playing your team. Who's going to win these, fucking preseason games right now? What do we think, gentlemen?
It's weird because, Nasty Nate ain't pitching for us. Ryu ain't pitching for you.
Yeah.
And it's only 2 games. So, I go to spring training every year, and it's after the 5th inning, number 98 is pitching against number 91, and you have no interest, right? Yeah. So I don't know how they're going to do these 2 games. Are they going to play 4 innings of real baseball and 5 innings of the backups or what? It's going to be interesting.
Well, I think one thing that kind of threw things out of a loop is, I mean, obviously Toronto is going to be visiting Boston College for the 2 spring training games.
Right.
But I think this is an opportunity for both teams to kind of go out there and see what potential they have as far as their young players all the way up to, the veterans on the team. But these are 2 teams that have a lot of young players. So I'm excited to see what's going to happen on the mound, behind the plate, and I'm looking forward to it, especially with the young studs you guys have now.
Yeah, I said it last season, and I've been saying it to him. I'm excited for us to play, but I'm excited to watch your young core play.
Absolutely.
And see what they're going to do with
Vladdy, Biggio,
it's crazy, how, much we hear, from other sports teams and, how excited they are just to watch us play. And, you can't even imagine how excited we are. The ceiling is so high.
And it feels good as a Blue Jays fan to know that it's, this isn't, me, with my Blue Jays bias going, it's okay, one day we're going to be good, man. No, it's it's the league has decided these guys actually have some young talent and some potential right now. And, it might not be this year. It might not even be next year. But I can promise you, boys, 1 year soon, you would better watch out for the Toronto motherfucking Blue Jays, brother.
I mean, listen, it happened for the Red Sox. It happened for the Cubs. You know what I mean? Why not? Why can't it happen for the Toronto Blue Jays?
I agree.
And it's not like it's been forever either, but I definitely see that happening. Yeah. Absolutely.
And you guys gotta be happy too. Your ownership spent some money getting Ryu this year. That's a good deal for you guys.
Yeah.
Because really, over the years, your offense has never struggled. It's been the pitching that you guys really struggle with.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. The biggest holes is definitely our pitching rotation. Obviously, our bullpen's going to get a lot weaker once Giles leaves, which we're going to talk about in another podcast.
Yeah, it's very possible we're going to trade him for something hopefully good.
And then our outfield, definitely. That's why we made that Reynolds video, because we were like, we need something else. Asking for more bats is kind of greedy.
We were actually right before this video, right before we got on. I literally turned to Adam and I was like, "God damn, man, I want Alex Verdugo."
Yeah.
I mean, for us, when we ended up landing Verdugo, I mean, when you lose a player like Mookie Betts, I mean, first of all, that's tough enough to deal with as it is. And along with him. Yeah, of course. And along with him, David Price, which even just made it worse, especially coming off of, World Series and losing two key guys like that. It really sucked. It wasn't ideal, but we understand, after all, it is a business. But landing Verdugo, a young talent, he's got many years ahead of him. I think he has a lot of room to grow as a professional. And I think the Red Sox organization is a place that he can absolutely do that. And, I mean, he has made that active roster, and he made the opening day list. So, I mean, I think we have something to look forward to.
And we got Cheater Downs in that deal, too.
So yeah, Cheater Downs with that song.
Cheater Downs is the deal. Now, have you guys had your roster? What happened?
Tell us about him. I'm not too familiar with this guy.
Cheater Downs is one of the highest prospects in the Red Sox system and of all baseball. So he was really high up there. We were surprised to get him in that deal, but it's sweet spot. He'll probably be up in 2 years, but they have real high.
Okay.
And he's really high. Did your guys' roster get officially put in yet, or no?
Not yet. We're still sitting on that 60 player pool, but what I'm really hoping is that we can I see it very unrealistic, because we literally just drafted this guy, but just putting Austin Martin to get playing time, because he is 21, he's older, and he fit perfectly. Even if he was just a bench guy, just with the team, I would wish that he would be included in the roster.
Well, and this season's the best season, I think, right now. The best opportunity to be man, screw it. Just give the kid a shot, right? It's 60 games. This could just be a trial and error season for all we know. I'm not sure, bro, but obviously the kid's got talent. I want to see him have a couple of bats, at least. You know?
So you would start his clock right away and just start paying him?
It's a good question, actually.
Baseball is a good business, right? Vladdy didn't come up for 17 games last year because it delayed his clock. Yeah. So would you start his clock right away?
That is true. That is true.
It's something that the organization is gonna need to look at. We're actually doing very something similar with Nate Pearson right now. He's definitely gonna be coming up into the rotation at some point this season, but they're gonna. I already know that they're gonna choose not to have him for the first week. Yeah. Just because we literally gain an extra year of service time with this guy. Yeah. And I mean, what am I gonna take, one start of Nate Pearson or a whole year of Nate Pearson? I'm gonna take a whole fucking year of Nate Pearson.
Yeah. So Mo and I actually discussed something similar on our past episode about starting young players or whether or not they're going to get that playing time. For example, our third and fourth draft pick, I believe, Jordan Blaze and Nicky York, they both got signed a couple of weeks ago. I think the top was, $2.2 million. And, I mean, these kids, amazing prospects. And he spent some time in the minors. How long was it?
A year.
Maybe about a year, right? But, just from his experience, no matter how good you are, you're still young and you still have to build that experience. So most ball clubs, unless they're really desperate, you're going to go spend some time in the farm until you prove yourself that you're ready to go to the show. And I think when you're sitting in that dugout, players are responsible for what happens on the field. But as the skipper, you got to know which is the best guy to put in that position.
Right. Absolutely. And also, the hard part with this year is, and you guys have a point, is let him play for the exposure for 60 games. I would not want to be drafted in the minors right now because if you got drafted, there's no rookie ball, there's no rookie camps, there's no low A, there's no single A, there's nothing, which doesn't really affect the guys in double and triple A. It's just another year off for them to work at home and get ready. Yeah. But when you're in low A and rookie ball, that's the hardest years of your life because you go from college where a guy may throw 94% 90 to where now you're going to see guys consistently 95, 94, secondary pitches, third pitches. So it's rough. I get what you're saying, but I would just keep him off to the side. Don't start his clock because another thing is you bring him up and say he has 40 at-bats and he strikes out 20 of the 40 and maybe just 3 hits. Confidence going into a full year next year is just in the shit house. And you don't want to kill a young guy like that.
Yeah, definitely want to keep that.
Get into his head, I understand that absolutely. Yeah, I think like maybe from our perspective, it'd be a great opportunity for him to get some exposure with the guys, the team as a whole, but maybe not thrown into that, like big league atmosphere like 100% yet. Because you're right, he's a young kid. He might not be ready for that, eh?
Yeah. You want to keep that confidence up and going. For when that moment when you do need him, that kid's coming hot out the tunnel and giving everything he's got. So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, absolutely,
definitely. So I want to ask you guys, what do you guys think about the division this year? Do you guys think you're gonna beat us, come in third place, maybe even win the division, or you guys think?
I'll let you go first because I have my own take on not only the division but just baseball all around.
So I'll let you go first. The division's up in the air because the Evil Empire really isn't that good as people put them on.
I don't think so.
And with you guys being in that bubble of being a mediocre or good team, it just makes things so much better. Obviously, the Orioles suck, right?
Yeah.
You can call that. The Rays are going to be there.
They're trying.
And now with you guys there, it's going to be a tough one. The 10 games we play each other is going to be intense. It's going to be great. And honestly, it's all about what you guys do more than what we do against the Evil Empire and more what the Rays do against them because you're like that wild card team.
Yeah. I mean, look at last year. The Blue Jays and the Red Sox were back and forth.
Right.
So
I see us in a second place or first place finish.
Yeah.
Because the one thing we're noticing, we talked about on our last episode, they're building the pitching that nobody knows about. So everybody has them written off. And the last 2 times the Red Sox were written off like this was 13 and 18, and we know what happened. And even in 16 and 17, when they wrote off the Red Sox, they're not that good, they won the division. So I'm going off what I see. The new GM came, he made all these moves.
But about that pitching, because I'm going to be honest, I am one of those guys who have written off the Red Sox pitching, not the lineup. I think that the lineup is top 5 in the league, in my opinion. Like, your batting lineup is elite. But your pitching, in my opinion, from looking at the surface stats, needs a little bit of work. So tell me, like, what are you guys doing to make that happen?
Well, everybody looks at Nathan Eovaldi, your opening day starter from last year. Mm-hmm. But the guy, we talked about this last week too, the guy only had those numbers last year because they weren't in it. They kind of sold themselves short. They were done. They were shopping Mookie the whole second half of the season. And when he got off his elbow surgery, they didn't want to have him go pitch in AAA. Let him pitch in the bids. Let him get big league experience, big league at bats. We're still paying the guy $25 million a year, so let him get that exposure and that working. So as a baseball player and a baseball fan, it makes sense. But as a naive fan, it's like, that fucking guy sucks. His ERA is in the 5s. But all he was doing is putting in work. If he had 90 pitches through 3, they were pulling him. He had 90 pitches in 9, they were letting him stay in. Where this year, you're going to see more of an older Nathan Eovaldi. You're going to see the experience. So that's our one starter.
Now, also, it was just announced, I think, 2 days ago that Erod's been cleared of COVID, so he's ready to get back into action. But also, one thing that most of them I noticed since the offseason was that the new president of operations for baseball, Hein Bloom, this is a guy that has been focusing on that bullpen.
Right.
He's new to the organization. And when we saw him at Winter Weekend, we had a chance to go to town hall discussion, if you will. And he really made that point, is I was brought here to make this organization better, just as anybody would say, But he has emphasized a lot on the pitch. I mean, he just picked up a pitcher, less than a week and a half ago, just to throw into the rotation. So the depth is there. I think it's just going to take time for us to find out who are the top 6 or 7 guys that are going to be utilized as far as, when it goes to serious moments.
And not just with us, we're going to see a lot of this all throughout baseball. You're going to see a lot of openers this year.
Yeah.
You may see, like the Red Sox with 2 openers. We're going to have Eovaldi, Erod, probably Mazda or Perez, right? So that's our big 4. And Perez was on a team who won 100 games last year. He's a good pitcher, and he pitches good at Fenway Park. His numbers at Fenway Park are like video game numbers. He's under 1 ERA. He has a lot of strikeouts, and he does a lot of outs. And his innings is averaging around 7. So that's a solid pickup. That everybody's like, nah, he's not that good. His ERA is in the 4s. But at Fenway, he pitches. And that's all you got to do is pitch at Fenway. So they have 4 good starters, and then they have a lot of openers that are available.
And here's another thing, like you know Matt Shoemaker. So we have Matt Shoemaker, and I remember he was coming off an injury, and he hasn't pitched in a while. He was kind of up in the air, what is this guy gonna do? And that was one thing I was looking for. And then he hit big in the beginning. I think his ERA was like under 2 for the first month. He gets injured, and now it's another question mark. Is he gonna do it again? We don't know. So
but his injury wasn't pitching. It was when he rolled his ankle at Fenway.
Oh yeah, it was in.
It was just dumb.
It wasn't like he blew his arm out. Yeah. I think Shoemaker's the best pitcher this year.
Oh yeah. Honestly, he's one of my definitely sleepers on the Blue Jays that could be number 2. He's in our number 4 right now because we have Anderson and Roark being that number 2 and 3. But I think Shoemaker's just a better pitcher than both those guys.
Yeah, agreed.
Awesome. So I have a question. With the recent announcement that unfortunately there won't be any baseball in Toronto, what's the energy there like? I mean, for us in the States, even though Fenway Park is technically, we're not allowed to be there, we can still sit outside of a stadium or something, whether they're playing the Yankees or the Mets. It's just a drive away. How's that feeling out there as far as knowing, they're not going to be anywhere around?
I mean, I think, the people that I've talked to anyways, it seems like we're more or less just, kind of, feeling for the players right now. You got to put it in perspective. It's these Toronto kids, these young guys, because our team is so young, man. It's they're literally going to have to spend months away from home, in a hotel, in places that they're not comfortable with. And I feel we haven't even touched on enough. Will that affect their play? Maybe, it's the field stuff really does impact these young kids. So I just feel for them, man. It's the sense that they're not even going to get an opportunity to be where they're comfortable or in their own home or with their families. So that's really kind of shitty in my opinion.
And I think just commenting on the decision in general, just to not play in Toronto, you had the Ontario government approve, but they had to get approval from the federal, and the federal government denied us. So, and I can understand where it's coming from. You have one Canadian team, and obviously the situation in the States is more heightened than the situation in Canada. So we're doing well. We're on the downswing, and then you have the idea to the federal government going, hey, let's bring up 29 teams with 60 plus people, personnel. It's they immediately get freaked out and no, which it's totally gettable. I get it, but. I would have liked to see it happen as a fan, but it is what it is.
Yeah, I think it's something tough to deal with as a fan, one, and two. Think about it. It's a 60 game season, which means every team is going to be rolling day after day. It's baseball after baseball. These guys aren't going to be resting the way they should be. They're not going to have those just just relax at home kind of days. Talk about sitting in a hotel for months and months on end. Yeah. So that's not comfortable to them. And I ultimately think that's something it could take effect. Hopefully it doesn't, but I can understand where that can come from.
As an outsider, where do you guys want to see him playing? In Buffalo or Florida?
Oh, honestly, not Florida. Yeah. No, I mean, we all know, like as soon as they touched base in Dunedin, a bunch of cases come up, and like, yeah, sure, may it happen again? Who knows?
That's true. I wouldn't want the boys in Florida either.
No, I think Buffalo's the place for them to play.
Yeah.
Buffalo's in New York. New York's kind of just figuring the stuff out, but Florida hasn't really got on board.
I would also say too, like, definitely Buffalo, because like, let's think about the boys who literally came out of Buffalo like very recently, like last year. Like, you got Vladdy, you got Bijoux, you got Bichette. All these guys are comfortable in this environment, you know. Like it's like they're gonna feel like they're going back home. And like, I don't know if you guys know, but Vladdy hit 381 when he was at home Buffalo over there. Obviously, that was the minors. But hey, man, like, you know, like that plays into your mindset. You get confidence when you're back in a place like that.
Good times.
So that's very, very true. So now you put us in the top 5 in offenses. Where do you put your own team in offense?
We actually did a video on this, man, the other day, and I got to admit, you know, like some Blue Jays bias played into it, but we are not there yet, gentlemen.
No, we're not in the top 10. What we'd like to see. We'd like to see top 15, like literally 15. Like, put us right in the middle at the end of this year. As a Blue Jays fan, I'll be happy with that. Last year, we were definitely not top 15. We were
arguably
bottom
the worst
5. Like, we were so garbage.
Yeah, like we literally had the worst batting average in the MLB, bro. Like, Miami, Detroit, all these people are better than us. Like, that is embarrassing.
That's just straight up embarrassing.
So.
Well, listen. Toronto's doing something right, because you guys at least. I mean, I'm not presently, but you're putting asses in those seats.
Yeah.
So, and I mean, a lot of it can be because of Vladdy and Bichette and some of the younger guys. You guys are obviously grabbing the attention of people, and that's quite frankly all you need. You know, compared to like a ball club like the Marlins, where those seats don't even get filled. They close off sections of the stadium. And I know Jeter's down there and he's trying to rebuild that ball club, but Toronto's still got something going. So I don't see it being a while from now until you guys definitely make that top 15. I think ownership's going to do what they need to do to get there.
Yeah, like, man, I don't know if you guys have been to the Rogers Center, but like, when we are hype about something, it is loud. It feels. And even on TV, you can hear it. It's insane. Yeah. If you saw Vladdy's debut, it was like a playoff game. Every pitch even when he took a ground ball, it was like it was literally like a game-winning play in the playoffs.
Well, we were watching. I think it was that game, and just him warming up.
Yeah,
everybody's up taking pictures and he's trying to sign as many autographs as possible. And I'm like, when was the last time you seen a breakout kid like this? I mean, yeah, granted, it's Vladdy, son, but it's just wild. So you guys got that going for you, like I said.
Cool. I feel like we should wrap it up soon, but sure. I have one more question for you guys. Like, we've been talking about this, and we're actually going to make a post on our Instagram about this, to see what the world thinks. But obviously, you had a insane breakout year from Rafael Devers last year. I should know because I was the dumb idiot who dropped him on my fantasy team right before. I didn't. All right. So I know all about Devers. If you guys are building a baseball team, who would you rather have, Rafael Devers or Vladdy Guerrero Jr.?
Oh man! He had to throw. Oh wow! I'll let you take.
I'm gonna be biased on this one. You guys are biased on yours. I'm taking Rafi because I'm biased. And damn, that's tough.
Rafi's 22. Vladdy is.
How old is 21? He was 20 last year.
Yeah, he's got a year. You got a year on.
I mean, see, it's hard because Vladdy is good and so is Devers. And see, for us, the first Devers we got to see, he came off the bench in Yankee Stadium, 40-man roster, and Chapman's pitching, throwing 102. And he hit a ball 400 feet oppo on him, like it was nothing. Seeing that made him just special to me. So I'm taking Rafi. Yeah. How about you,
bud? I kind of had a moment to kind of process that. As much as I love and respect Vladdy Jr., I think he has a very bright future ahead of him. I'm going to go with Rafi. Let's not forget, Rafi does have a ring. He has postseason experience. And I think at the age of 22, he has a little bit of leadership that can exemplify through that because of his experience. So if I'm going to build a team based off of that, I'm going to have to take my boy Rafi Devers. But it doesn't mean I don't love Vladdy Jr. Absolutely.
And just one more thing. I would add that I don't see Vladdy staying at third base his whole career.
Oh, yeah.
If I'm building a team.
Yeah, they decided this season anyways, like he's going to be primarily at first now.
Yeah, and we kind of expected that. And, like, we have prospects coming up that are going to be third basemen anyways. So it's like, might as well make the switch happen.
Right. So I see another switch Friday at DH. So if I'm going to build a team, I just want to know I have that guy there instead of worry about the other 8 positions. And so, yeah, I would go with Devers on that point.
Same.
I think realistically, gentlemen, like there's honestly almost no wrong answer in that question because from my perspective, like I think that both of these players for the next like decade, we're gonna see a lot of good stuff come out of Devers. We're gonna see a lot of good stuff come out of Vlad. You know,
it's gonna be like Vlad and Devers show, like back and forth.
Yeah, definitely.
So we said we had our placing of our team coming in second, maybe first. Where do you guys put the Blue Jays at this year?
We made like pretty realistic predictions. We put them at fourth.
Just behind the Red Sox.
Yeah, just behind you guys. We had you guys at third. Like we put sadly the Yankees winning the division. I hate that we did that. And then we got the Rays as well. Like the Rays pitching core to me, like their pitching staff is just so elite.
It could be built for them with their starters and their bullpen. The Rays could be scary. Definitely.
Yeah, that's what's going to drive them. And if Rays get into a postseason series, you have 3 pitchers. You know, in the first series, you got 4 in the next. Like you're gonna dominate.
Yeah,
you're gonna dominate.
Definitely,
it is a lot. I think for our perspective, we just want our boys to go roughly 500.
Yeah.
If we have a 500 season, then that would be a great developmental year for our whole team. And then I think next year we're going to be coming in and people are going to be talking about us as more of a force, you know?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Definitely.
Boys, I can't wait for the season, guys. Honestly, I wanna beat you guys. You know, I want us to take
right back at you.
We're gonna have a lot of fun. Don't worry, guys.
We should link up and do another like a recap video like after like a couple games.
Yeah, definitely.
See how the Red Sox are doing, see how the Jays are doing. You know,
definitely after our first series for sure. We got to talk.
Absolutely, guys. It's been awesome.
Looking forward to it.
Man. So lovely to talk to you guys. Fenway Faithful. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep grinding. We love your stuff.
Thank you, guys. Thanks for having us on.
Shout out to you guys. Thank you.
No problem, boys. Take care.
Later.
Take care.